What's behind many of the behavior issues that teachers are seeing in their classrooms? Well, they're certainly seeing plenty of those behavior issues these days, and there's constant discussion about that. They're seeing acting out, they're seeing shutting down, they're seeing poor performance, they're seeing issues with kids paying attention, kids remembering what they're supposed to do from one day to the next, or sometimes even from 1 minute to the next. So that if you're a teacher, you're undoubtedly seeing probably more of that than maybe you have expected or maybe have seen in the past. So veteran teachers are commenting on this a lot, but of course, every teacher is struggling with some of the same kinds of things. So what we need to understand is that underneath these behaviors are a variety of reasons. And the reasons, and in many cases, the reasons actually have to do with kids' cognitive skills rather than just being a pain in the rear end. I mean, most kids don't get up every morning and say, I really want to irritate everybody I come into contact with today. That's not a natural human thing. It's not to say that there aren't a few kids here and there that are, get really have fun giving us a hard time, yanking our chains. But the fact of the matter is that most kids don't set out every day to do that kind of thing. And they certainly don't set out to be poor students. They don't set out trying to fail academically. And we sometimes try to separate those issues. We try to separate academics from behavior. But the fact of the matter is that cognitive skills are the underpinning for both. So skills like attention, skills like our memory skills, our reasoning skills, our working memory, how we hold information in our mind, all of these are important aspects of how that contribute to student behavior and our own behavior for that matter. So if we have difficulty with flexible thinking, for example, that's going to make it hard to shift gears. It's going to make it hard to see things from different perspectives. You may find a student who just gets convinced that they are right about something and has tremendous difficulty seeing it from a different point of view. And when you have a couple of students like that, each entrenched in their own view of things, it's going to be challenging. But that's also going to play into their ability to problem solve. So if they get stuck and their first approach to solving a problem doesn't work, they may give up, shut down, get angry, get frustrated, throw something across the room and say, this isn't fair. And in fact, in some ways it isn't, because if kids don't have the underlying cognitive skills to regulate their behavior, to perform well academically, then what we're asking them to do is something that they simply are not capable of doing. And when we get asked to do things that we're not capable of doing, our natural human reaction is to shut down or just be the class clown or act out, whatever it takes to get us out of that situation that is so uncomfortable and so impossible and that we just don't know how to cope with. And so one of the things, and there are a couple of things that we need to really understand, and what teachers as well as parents should be aware of, is that when we understand what a child's cognitive strengths and weaknesses are, number one, that can tell us a tremendous amount about what they're struggling with, why they're struggling with it, and what's behind all that behavior problem, as well as the performance, the academic problems. Not only can that be a tremendous start in terms of understanding and that there are reasons for the behavior problems, but we actually can strengthen cognitive skills. We can strengthen skills like flexible thinking, like working memory, like attention, like memory skills, all of which make learning easier and which make behavior a whole lot easier too. And in fact, without strengthening them, we're just trying to do something that is going to frustrate us and frustrate our students. So we need to give them the skills. We can't just throw kids in at the deep end of the pool and expect them to swim if we haven't taught them how to swim. The same is true with behavior. The same is true with academic performance, and that all relies on those underlying cognitive processes. So if you have students or children who are struggling with behavior issues, struggling with academic performance in the kinds of ways that we've just been talking about, let's decode it together. Let's find out what's really going on.